testing server review of Loop Community. So let's see. Channel announcements? Oh, your YouTube channel or something else like that. Okay. Now I understand better. For easy to understand layout, I'm not going to give you a deduction for this one. But as far as the how to get roles, this in and of itself is okay at this level. But I would strongly suggest you have a channel that admin and that regular mods can see. So that way you can show them, so that way you can have in that channel examples and description of what you mean by being a good mod. That way they know what's expected of them. You might have some of that to some extent in your mod applications, for all I know. Oh, you don't have them yet, so you might decide to include that stuff in the mod application. But it's still a really good idea to have a specific channel for that too. But for easy to understand layout, I'm honestly going to give you a full score. Well, full score for how I'm doing things now, which is it's nearly impossible to get a 10. 10, I have to see something that seems like you went well over and above what's necessary to keep things seeming to look nice and everything to make sense, what order it goes into and stuff like that. If it seems like you went well over and above for that, that's when you get a 10. That's what I'll be doing from now on. But you still will get a 9 on this because I see nothing to cause me to want to deduct any points. It just doesn't look like you went well over and above, which is hard to do. So, don't necessarily expect any people from here on out to get 10s on that. 9 will probably be the new high score for that category. Because for me, for now on, 10's going to be you definitely went over and above in that category. 9 will mean I don't see any reason to deduct any points. Then 8 or lower will be if I do see reasons to deduct points. Clear and definitive rules is next. So let's see. No NSFW, no swearing in NSFW. Any show that is made is not included with this. Okay. Rule number 2, no discrimination, no racial slurs or other racial offensive thing, and discrimination. Rule number 3, no being mean or offensive to others. Rule number 4, send messages in the right channel, like send memes, channel, other stuff like that. Rule number 5, remember to respect everyone in the server. Rule number 6, no ping the owner or his role. Basically, don't ping any of those roles, I'm guessing, because they might be doing something. Rule number 7, no pinging everyone or here. Basically, don't ping everyone or here. Okay, I don't think you need to repeat that for sure. But anyway, I'll continue reading for now. Okay, Rule number 8, all ages allowed. Rule number 9, no sharing personal information like age, name, address, etc. Okay, for rule number 1, you really need to just reword that. My personal suggestion would just be to wipe and reset the rules or something. But anyway, you really need to reword rule 1 because it's confusing how it's worded there. If I am interpreting it right, but there's so many ways I could easily interpret this wrong, even if I am interpreting it right, you're saying something along the lines of TV shows that are NSFW aren't counted under the no NSFW rule, but I'm not sure if I'm reading that right. And if I'm not, then that shows you how easy it is to interpret it wrong. If I am reading it right, then yeah, still you need to make that clearer, because I could easily read it to mean something completely different. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but I know I could. It's just confusing. And for rule number 2, I don't really think you need a description with that one. Well, actually, I do, but don't. Meaning, your description just makes it seem a little more confusing. You either need a clear description, or it's better just to go with no description. Downside with no description is I feel you should, if you don't have description for any rule, if there's any rule you don't have description, you need to have a rule in there somewhere saying staff have final say or something along that lines. So that way it's clear that if you say your interpretation of a rule, that is the interpretation of it. But anyway, and honestly, I think you could get rid of rule number 2 because of rule 3. Like, I don't think you should get rid of rule 3, but I think you could get rid of 2 because of 3. Now, in my personal opinion, rule 5 could pretty much cover all the other rules. But a lot of people still need seeing those other rules to fully understand. So, wouldn't necessarily get rid of it or change it or anything like that. I'm just saying. And in rule number 7, you're being redundant there. You just state the rule, not the little explanation thing you have there. Because the rule makes it completely clear. You don't need that little explanation. And unless in rule number 8 you're going against Discord terms of service, I don't think there's a point in that rule. If you are meaning to go against Discord terms of service by that, then honestly, I don't think that should be in the terms of service for Discord, but it is, so you would be breaking the terms of service, but okay, whatever, that's your choice. I'm not gonna bother reporting that or anything, because whatever. If you're not meaning to break the terms of service, I don't think you need that rule. Because unless you say a rule that limits the ages, everyone's going to assume that all ages from the cutoff of Discord on up are allowed. But when you say all ages allowed like that, maybe you also include those younger than the cutoff for Discord? And then if that's the case, technically that breaks Discord terms of service. But yeah, that's my critiques for your rules. I'm going to give you a 6 out of 10, honestly. Because I think that really needs a revamp. And the next one is originality of server concept as well as lack of redundancy of rules and channels. Well, I saw an about the server category, so I'm going to look at that for originality of server concept. At least I'm pretty sure I saw that earlier. Personally, I would put it higher up, but that's not necessary. Or did I skip past it? Oh, server introduction. That's the channel I was looking for. Oh. Okay. So, unfinished channel. So, not quite sure your purpose of this server. So I don't remember the last time I reviewed it. Seems kind of like somewhat of a game slash YouTube server. Gaming slash YouTube server. But there's a lot of such servers out there, and I don't really see much to make this one stand out, except with the exception of maybe it being slightly focused on your YouTube channel. So I'm gonna deduct 2 points for originality of server concept, and then there's no I don't really see a real redundancy of channels. I don't see a redundancy of channels, but I did see redundancy in the rules. So another point for that. So that will put you at 7 out of 10 for that category. And then friendly owner and staff. Don't remember if you're the owner, but I know for a fact I've seen staff on there go over and above to help other people out. So you guys do get a 10 out of 10 on that one. How interesting is the server? Honestly, for me, I'd say it's a 4 out of 10. Primarily because I've seen way too many servers like that, and you don't have anything that really makes it stand out. So, yeah, I'm sorry, it would be 4 out of 10. And honestly, it's the same for how likely I would suggest someone to join it. Because I mean, there's definitely some people that I would probably run across that I'd be like, oh, you might want to join this server then. But unless it kind of just naturally goes towards that way for me, I probably wouldn't suggest it. So, yeah, that's why I put it a 4 out of 10. So let's see. 15, 22, 32, 36, 40, Final verdict would be 40 out of 60. And I would say join if you're interested in kind of a general YouTube/gaming Discord community.